So, hello and welcome to the second part of this episode. We are still here with Verónica Lehner, right? Yes, it's a German pronunciation, so I cannot do anything wrong. And of course, we are talking about her works that you saw in the back. And these are, I don't think that you've seen these works, but she's going to give us insight about the ideas, the technique, and the inspiration. So let's just start. Maybe you start giving us maybe the names of the works, and then, draw us a picture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So these two works are from the same series that's called Superficies Múltiples, or like multiple surfaces.
Yeah.
And what I began doing here is only stretching a part of the fabric and just working like consciously on this part of the fabric. Here I was working with acrylic, and I was kind of taking advantage of the fact that acrylic, if you run water over it, then it kind of moves. Mm. And it like some places stick, but others like get washed away. Mm. So I was just like pouring water on it, like with some pressure, and opening up the color so the layers underneath could be seen. And the rest of the fabric was like gathering the whole process from the studio, from the colors falling onto it, or the watercolors, or the dust, everything that had to do with the process of painting was actually also being collected by the fabric. Okay. And so then I stretch the whole fabric on another stretcher, like a bigger one. And here, for example, you can see also like the marks from the staples, like how it's been stretched.
Yeah.
And,
so basically, that's the reason why you have these lines within the canvases. Uh-huh. So, okay. Now I also do understand. How do you call it in English? The drippings, here. So basically, the wood was ended here, and it was like turned around, and these are the odd shapes that you always see in the back on any canvas, actually. Basically. Oh, interesting. Nice.
So, and in here, for example, I used acrylic and also oil paint. Mm-hmm. And I did it twice. Like I stretched first this part and left the rest of the fabric loose, and then I only stretched this part, and like I wanted to see what happened if I did a solid here, and this was full of all this texture.
Okay. But how did this part came about? But it looks like a big mess, but sorted somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just do like a whole layer of a solid color, and then I open it up with water.
Ah, okay.
And that's why you can see like pieces of paint that are stuck here as well. Not only like the drips, but also kind of the layer of paint that just kind of like cracks and it sticks onto this part.
Yeah. But this is dark canvas, right?
Yeah, this is linen. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought there's a big difference between here. Here I can see that the canvas is the color is very bright and very light, and I thought this was paint.
Oh,
actually.
Okay, yeah.
That was my first impression, but
no, this was I work on them raw. Like
okay.
I don't prime them.
Okay. Nice.
Because in that way I can also like see what happens here with the fabric. How much the fabric absorbs when it shrinks, because there's a lot of water involved, and so when it dries up it shrinks, or sometimes it just expands. So yeah, I'm interested in all those processes.
Okay, nice. So you're basically not You are experimenting more than you are thinking of an idea. Just like, as you said in the previous conversation, that you are not interested in the narrative of the work, but also the material, how it moves, how it shapes, and what happens when you add another material to it, and what happens when you add like, natural stuff to it. So, so can we say that you never premeditate or pre-imagine your works before you start doing anything? Is this all experimental?
The thing is, I can imagine all I want.
Yeah.
But it's never gonna look like that.
Okay.
Because I guess I have like a starting image. For example, what solid color I can imagine, and then like when I open the first layer and the color of the canvas comes out, then that's when it kind of starts.
Okay.
But I also think this is something very interesting about painting for me, and it is that paint just spills and like it goes everywhere, and you cannot really control it that much. And I love that because sometimes, for example, I just work from a little stain on the wall that I had from another painting, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna use that color.
Oh, okay.
Or
It's just like you when you. I mean, I imagine it when you're in the studio and you're trying to not get dirty on your clothes, and you still get dirty.
no,
So you
of
never.
course I have to work with it because otherwise.
That's the idea, that you cannot control where colors find their ways.
Yeah, and also you can't control the water, and you can't really control where the paint is going to break.
Yeah.
Like when it's and where it's not going to completely break.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more like a soft watery color over it.
Okay.
So I think that's very interesting.
Okay.
Quality of painting. Of paint.
Okay. Cool. Then let's
I feel like a very important part of these works is also that I try to work with the paint and with the fabric, and not be like this genius creator, like putting things on it, but more like letting it determine and kind of guide the way that I work.
Okay.
With it.
So you're not. I mean, you choose them. You choose the colors. The colors are by choice, but you let them work the way they are supposed to work, or the way they want to work.
Yeah, more like
okay.
that. Yeah.
So then I would say let's move on to the next image, and then you can tell me more about this idea that you are trying to make the works or the colors do what they want to do. How is that possible, and how did you realize that? How can you? I mean, you have to choose one color, and you have to say, okay, I'm going to do a brushstroke like this. That's a decision that you make for yourself as an artist. But
still, I think, because I really think that materials have agency.
Okay.
And I really think that they are active in the process of making, and not only like something you use, but it's something that kind of uses you back.
Okay.
In a way, kind of like animated.
Yeah.
But because I feel like you are definitely moved to execute certain actions depending on the qualities of materials, like depending on the quality of fabric, depending on color, for example, but also on the way paint drips, or on the way that maybe it seeps into the fabric, and then some parts are left not so colored as other ones.
Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it. It's just like.
It's also like an object. Like if you have a sofa,
Yeah.
you're gonna move around it.
Yeah.
Or for example, I don't know. I've seen this happen in a lot of like public places where someone's standing with a camera, and everyone kind of just goes around this person.
Yeah. True.
And it like changes the whole square or whatever.
So let me just recapture it so I can test myself if I understood what your idea or your concept. It's like using acrylic or oil paint. these are really two different materials, and they react differently, and you can paint differently with them. And for example, acrylic dries very quick, and when you're done with it, you're done with it. You cannot do anything with it anymore. You cannot, even though if you drip water on it, it will change, but in its way, not in the way you want them to change. And for like oil example, if you put them on, maybe you can sometimes come back in 2 days and you still could do something with it and it will still change. It's
yeah, I mean, you
if
can
it's
kind of
still wet.
sand it,
Yeah.
or do something else with it.
Is it that what I'm getting, or am I still not there?
Yeah. But also like for me it is materials and their particular qualities what makes you act in a certain way.
Okay. I need to think about that more and think about it more. So
yeah,
I will get it.
Earlier about me doing like site-specific work, for example, and for me, places and the materials of places also like trigger actions on my part.
Okay.
This is like something that I work with, so that's why it's nice to have different settings.
Okay. You're schooling me today.
Sorry?
You're schooling me today. I'm learning a lot.
Am I really?
I'm learning a lot. So let's better jump onto this image, to this painting. Maybe you start again with the idea, with the name, and then you walk us through the whole process. Yes.
So this one is called Intersecciones, this series.
Yeah.
And I actually started this one in Seoul, in Korea, when I was doing a residency.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was trying to work with the same principles as the other works, but thinking a lot about the monochrome. Like, is a monochrome kind of thing? And of course there is like, appears to be only one color in the part that is worked on like consciously, but there are all these other colors that actually compose this one.
Yeah.
And it's just made of this very many layers. And here I'm also interested in like working together, like this is kind of the part that I make and this is kind of the part that the fabric and the colors make. And the distance and the moving around of the painting while in the studio, while I'm working, or maybe standing on it like accidentally, or I don't know, it hitting something else.
Yeah.
And for example here, like the staples getting oxidated, rusted.
Okay.
Or even ripping. And I'm really interested in all those like little steps of the process.
Okay.
I also like accidents.
Yeah, but I never would have thought that at least the side parts, where you say you let the color behave the way it behaves, and you also let the canvases behave the way it behaves. It looks more like you intentionally did this, the surrounding, and you just mentioned that it's actually not intentional. It is intentional.
It's intentional in the way that, of course, I'm painting the sides.
Yeah.
So of course it's gonna get onto the other.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But since this part is loose, then it's all wrinkled.
Okay.
So I can't really control. I can't see everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blind painting in a way.
What I'm asking myself is, how did you how was this canvas stretched so you get this
First it was stretched here. Only this part.
Yeah.
And then I opened it up.
Yeah.
And that's why you can see like
Yeah.
here's the
corners, yeah.
So I was also interested in like showing the intersection between like the painting and the stretcher behind it. Like actually talking a little bit about the structure of a painting.
Okay. But still, again, there's the. How did you manage, like, to create this? Yeah, the outer part, without letting any color drip on this surface.
Oh no, I was doing a layer, like
Okay.
a whole layer
Okay.
of paint
Yeah.
here, and like each layer of color is, you can see it here, like all the colors that I used,
Oh, okay.
like a history,
Ah.
like almost like geological strata, you know.
Amazing.
Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these colors that appear here are also inside of this.
Yes.
Ah, okay. So basically, these I don't know, I don't remember, this orange, red dish color here that we can see is the last color that you put on?
Yes.
That's the last one that you put on. Okay. But then you said that you were interested in the monochrome spectrum, and so monochrome is always that one color, right?
Yeah.
Mono means one.
Yeah.
So so basically, what I mean, if you put colors layers on top, you never get a monochrome. So it's all a mix of colors. So how did you? So
It's
what's
just a
the
little, like it's a kind of game, I guess.
Okay.
A little play
Yeah.
there, because I also feel like I mean there are very solid monochromes as well, but I kind of like the idea that it can be like an atmospheric one,
Okay.
and yeah, you can get like the feeling that it kind of recedes and,
Yeah.
and goes.
Yeah.
Goes over it
Okay.
as well.
So okay, then let's move on to the next image, and because it's the same, it's basically the same idea, the same monochrome concept, I guess, and also the same technique that you used on this canvas. So just start, give us insights, give us ideas, the name, and then we'll move on from there.
Well, what I do is just I call a series like a particular name, and then I just number
Okay,
paintings.
okay, perfect. Yeah, that's, I know. Yeah.
So this one's also called intersecciones,
Yeah.
like intersections.
Yeah.
And yeah, here I was still like experimenting with a different palette and what happens when you put colors on top of each other. And without making them that solid, like you can see through a little bit. Yeah. So if you like, there's a lot of brush work here.
Yeah.
And then this is just kind of done by the colors.
Okay.
In some way.
Okay.
You know, it's that particular quality of painting that spills and drips and just kind of goes through your fingers, you know, like you can't really like. So on this, did you wait until the color is dry before you continue? So you put a layer on, then you wait until the color is dry completely, and then you put another layer on, and then so basically the color underneath always disappears. Yes. Every time you put a new layer on. Yes. Okay. Which is a very also like a lot of painters talk about this, like what you start with is never the same. The same, what you end up being. The end product. And like each step of the way is like a new painting. Yeah. But then it always disappears. Okay. So it's like this continuous process of appearing and then just vanishing. Yeah. Okay. So that's also something that had to do with this series, because I was thinking also about the monochrome in the sense that it's a kind of emptiness of meaning, but also of image or narrative or something else. And sometimes the spectators can feel a little bit like you left me with nothing. Okay, nice. But that's also this kind of feeling that you have when you're making it as well, because it's always vanishing, whatever you do. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And actually what stays is this whole process that's been done kind of by the material. Yeah. In a way.
that's telling a bigger story even than the main area. Yeah. Nice. I love to talk with artists about their works, because if you look at this painting, you would never, I mean, at least I would never have guessed the ideas and the concept behind it. I would have thought, okay, she just took this, she just painted the middle one blue and then added other colors on the side. But to get the whole story about it, to get the whole story around it, is something very inspiring. And also the way you said, or your technique, that you stretch only this part of the canvas and then let the rest of it like just happen. Not really. It's not premeditated, or you just think about this part and you let the surrounding happen. So it feels like you let, like if a human being said, okay, good, I'm going to work on my inner being and my inner part, and let the outside be outside. Let the outside do whatever it's right for them or for itself, and but I'm going to stay true to my inner self, my inner being. I'm going to put multiple layers on it of different colors. And that's for me. That's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful way of seeing art and seeing or doing art. Even though I gave your works now a more narrative approach,
I think it's the same idea that we're in the world, with the world, and like everything's getting mixed all the time. That's not like a fine, very stable and clear contour of everything, like separated. But I also feel like it's a less rational way of working and just also letting things happen.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for this conversation. Thank you very much for the insights. Thank you for the schooling. And thank you for being here. Was awesome. I learned a lot today, and I have more inspiration for the future, of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for watching this episode. And as I mentioned already in the first part of this episode, please leave a comment. Tell us what you think about what we're doing over here. Tell us what you think about Veronica, and leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we will continue to give you more insight about more artists, talk to more artists, have more conversations, and do more projects. So stay tuned. And
if you're in Berlin, 26th of March is my exhibition
in
the gallery Monsen 35.
Yeah. We are going to link her on everything that we post on Instagram, also link her on the description down below, so you will find her website and everything that she will give us. So stay tuned to her works, and keep on watching. So see you next time. Bye bye.